Hello everybody, I'm doing another Decision Space Game Jam prototype review. Um, this one looks like a beast, so I'm gonna keep it short. Link to the Game Design Jam in the show notes. I'm gonna read the rules. I'm gonna play at least one round. I hope I will finish the round. This looks like a really big game, and yeah, let's get into it in the interest of saving time. Okay, so this is Scavenge by Breakfast. The rules is 2 pages. This is a roll and write, and this is the sheet, which has a lot of text on it, and it's fairly small and hard to read. So I hope I can make sense of it all. And there's also a threat table, which I haven't the slightest what it means yet, but yeah, that it's there. Okay, scavenge rules. Start of game. Players each select their starting location from among locations with star icons on them and fill in its star. Players begin the game with 10 health and 1 scrap. Okay, stars. Okay, so there's like stars on here. Stars. I need to pick one to start in. I have no idea how to do that. I have 10 health and 1 scrap. Yeah, that's marked on the sheet already, so I have 10 full circles and 1 scrap. Turn order. Roll turn dice. I'm assuming it's 2d6 because that's the constraint of the game jam, but it should probably say that. Oh yeah, it says this here. Each turn, one player rolls the 2 turn dice and announces the result. Okay, determine threat. Threat start of turn effects. Player actions. Scavenge, move, activate landmark. Optional player additional move. Threat end of turn effects. Each turn, one player rolls 2 turn dice and announces the result. Determine threat. Players recall the sum of the turn dice next to the current turn number on their sheet in the right column. The sum of the turn dice next to the current turn number on their sheet. Current turn. I guess it's this one. Like over here. Maybe. I'm not sure. It doesn't say current turn. Players find a value on the threat table. They write the threat that corresponds to the value next to the turn number for the following turn in the left column. Okay, so for example, if I roll a 7, then I write 7 over here, and then I look at the threat thing. 7 hunter region, mark hunter claw into. Okay, wow. Okay, I just write hunter, I guess. Yeah, okay, I will write hunter here and the number over here, I think. The current turn's threat is evaluated to determine the effect it has during the turn. The current turn's threat is evaluated to determine the effect it has during the turn. The threat has additional effects in the region that matches the current turn dice. No idea what that means. The threat has additional effects in the region that matches the current turn dice. So the threat of the previous turn can be affected by the die I roll this turn, I guess. The effect of the threat are determined by reading the threat's description in the threat table. Okay, that makes sense. The first turn does not have a threat. That makes sense. If the threat requires players to mark a location, they do this by crossing out an unmarked half of the location's circle. If a location would be marked a 3rd time, any player who is currently in that location is eliminated. Okay. A A health loss can happen as a result of threat effect. If a player health drops to 0, they are eliminated. Okay. A shield will prevent the next instance of health loss. The shield is then lost. Okay. Each exposure token exposure taken increases all future health loss by 1 and reduce score by 1. I don't know what exposure is. Okay, but there's a table column here for exposures. So each exposure taken increases all future health loss by 1, so it's just like permanent plus 1 damage every time you take damage. If player would take explosion and already has 6 explosions, instead they lose 5 life. Okay. Player action. So far it's clear and intuitive for the most part. So that's good. Player actions. Each player simultaneously chooses A or B and performs the action as described in order. A. Scavenge using one of the turn dice, then move, then activate a landmark, or scavenge using both turn dice, then activate a landmark. Okay, so you can either use both dice to scavenge, or you can use one dice to scavenge and one dice to move, and you can always activate a landmark, regardless of what you do. Scavenging. A player uses the turn dice to gain a choice of gear, scrap, or supplies. The available options depend on the player's location. Ruins, forests, and wastes each have a separate list of scavenging. Is that on the sheet? Yes, it is. Ruins, forests, and wastes have a different scavenging. Okay, when using one turn die, the player chooses which of the 2 dice to use and may gain one option with a matching value from the appropriate gear list. When using both turn dice, may use each die separately to gain 1 pick for each value, or may use the sum of the dice to gain 1 pick for the total value. Perfectly clear. A player may spend scrap to treat one of the dice as 1 higher or 1 lower for purposes of scavenging. Okay, so scrap is kind of like a adjust to the die. They may spend multiple scrap on either die any number of times. Die values can be increased above 6. Okay, so if I roll like 1 die and I want to use only 1 die, I can use scrap to get to like the higher values, even without using both dice. Fair enough. Circle the dotted gray spaces next to any gained gear. If there are no available spaces, the player cannot gain that gear. Okay, so if I circle it to get it, and if the table is run out, then I can't get any more of it. A player may only have 1 vehicle type gear at a time. If a second vehicle is gained, the player loses the first one. Makes perfect sense. Movement. The player chooses destination location that connects to the current location by a single path and moves on that path to the chosen location. Crossed-off paths cannot be used. If a player moves on a path that has an uncircled cog icon next to it, they may circle it to gain 1 scrap. Okay, if a player moves on a path that has an uncircled cog icon. Okay, here's a cog icon, so I can circle it to get 1 scrap. Effects that say go directly do not use paths that do not count as movement. After a player, so go directly to jail. After a player moves, they mark the location circle that they move to. Okay, so each time you move, you mark the circle. So when you move into a location, you mark half a circle. If the location empty, they write the current turn number in the left half. If the location circle is already marked once, whether by the player or by a threat, they write the current turn number on the right half. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. If a player needs to mark their current location and it has already been marked twice, they are eliminated. Okay. If a player moves further than one path, they only mark the end location of their movement. Okay. If a player doesn't move on their turn, they mark their current location circle. Makes sense. Activate a landmark. A player chooses one landmark at their current location to perform its function described below. Crossed out or circled landmarks cannot be activated again. So this is very hard to read. I don't know what those icons are. There are a bunch of icons that are on the thing. Shelter, yellow house icon. Prevent end of turn effects from threats this turn. Okay. Radio tower, black triangular tower icon. Circle the radio tower at the end of the game. Score points for the circle tower. Okay, so I feel like this landmarks legend might have been better off here, like in the threat table thing, because you need it as a reference while you play. You don't want to switch between, because I'm not going to remember all those things. So I don't want to switch between the rules, the threat table, and the sheet. But I will just get back to this later because I'm not going to remember all of this, so no point in reading it right now. I guess there is a reason. What are the beacons? Okay, I'll have to skim this because it seems like this will be relevant information to what I want to do and not just like stuff that happens. Radio tower, circular radio, the radio tower at the end of the game. Score points for circle towers. Okay. Wolf 2, 4, 7, 11, 16, or 22 if circled. Okay, so that's points. That's very relevant. Tunnel. Go directly to another tunnel location and mark that location. Okay. Supply cache. Circle the supply cache and gain 2 supplies. Announce at end of turn and all other players cross off this cache. Okay, so that's for multiplayer. We are not playing multiplayer. Workshop. Tilt robot arm. Perform a scavenge action with both dice, then mark the current location again. Doesn't that like kill me? No, you only die if we need to mark it a third time, not if it's full. Okay. Line station, orange hanging train icon. Draw a new path from this location to another location. The new path cannot cross existing paths. Observation tower, draw a new path on the dotted line connected to this location. May perform additional movement this turn without spending a supply. I need to spend supplies to move. After completing any actions, the player may spend a supply to move an additional move exactly one path and mark the end location. Effects cannot increase this movement. Okay, so I think this needs to be before this table, so I know this rule before I read that additional move without supply thing. Well, the landmarks shouldn't be on this sheet; they should be on the thread sheet anyway. Circle the vault and write the number of the activated beacons. At the end of the game, score points for the vault. Beacon. The beacon is a special landmark type with additional rules. Beacons are used to perform additional movements this turn without spending a supply. Oh no, there's a weird cut here. To determine the location of a vault by gradually narrowing down the possibilities based on specific features of the vault's location. When a player activates a beacon, they perform these steps. Circle the beacon, choose and mark features from the beacon table whose values match the current turn dice from these options. A single die oh my god. beacon is a special element. The beacon are used to determine the location of a vault by gradually narrowing down the possibilities based on special features of the vault's location. When a player activates the beacon, it performs these steps. Circle the beacon, choose and mark features from the beacon table whose values match the current turn dice. Those options are a single die and a single feature with matching values 1 to 6. The sum of value of both dice and a single feature with matching values 2 to 12. Both dice individually to super. Okay, so like scavenging. If exactly one location on the map fulfills all chosen features, the vault is revealed. The player should draw the vault icon at that location. Wow, okay, so there's like a weird deduction thing going on here. Otherwise, a player may activate another beacon on a future turn to choose more features. Okay, location has exactly three connected paths. This is... I don't know if this was designed in a way... wow, this is kind of mind-bending. So I needed to mark the thing, and then I need to figure out if there's only one location where the vault can be in order to reveal it. I'm not good at that. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Reactor. Gray coolant tower icon. Draw a different landmark icon into two of the reactor circles and cross out the third circle. Each circle grants a different bonus relating to the landmark that was drawn. Yellow, what? Draw a different landmark icon into two of the reactor circles and cross out the third circle. What's a reactor? Gray coolant tower. Oh, okay, so this is a reactor. Draw a different landmark icon into two of the reactor circles and cross out the third circle. Each circle grants a different bonus relating to the landmark that was drawn. Yellow arrow. When you are in a location with this landmark type, you may move +1. You do not need to mark the location unless you end your turn there. Purple crate. When you activate the landmark type, gain +1 supply. When you scavenge or activate a beacon in a location with this landmark, act as though you have +1 to any die of any number. +1 die of any number. Oh, so this is the... Okay, so I pick two of these and remove that's a hurt. Okay. Additional movement red and turn. Evaluate the end of turn effects of a threat. If a player is eliminated either from damage or from needing to mark their current location for a third time, they announce that now. The next turn will become the final turn. If a player activated the supply cache, they announce that now. All players then cross off that supply cache. End of game. The game end is triggered after 12 turns. If a player is eliminated, the game end is triggered after the next turn. After finishing the final turn, turn 12 of the game, evaluate the threat that was rolled on the final turn before rolling one more time. Finishing the final... Okay. Scoring. The winner is the surviving player with the highest score based on the remaining supplies, +2 for supply for super foods, for 1 to 6 remaining supply worth points, +3 for each remaining supply after the first 6. Radio tower circled, +1 radio tower with a fixed radio gear. For 1 to 6 radio towers, bunch of points. Remaining health is worth points. Minus points per exposure. Lose points for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radiation. If a player has spent 7 or more scrap, plus 7 points. If a player has a dog, plus 3 points. If a player visits the location in all 6 regions, plus 5 points. Each beacon activated, plus 1 point. If the vault was revealed, plus 5 points. If the vault was activated, plus 2 points per activated beacon. Alright. I guess I know the rules. Let's roll to d6. 3. So I write a 3 here. And I look at the threat. We have black fog. Black fog. Yeah, okay, black fog. What does black fog do? Wait, I need to pick my starting location. Pick my starting location. And do I mark off the set? Star circle and fill it in its star. Okay, I don't. Okay. Star. Okay, let's go with this one. The first one I found. This is my starting location. Woohoo! Okay. Black fog. What does black fog do? Cross out trails connected to region forest locations if able. Otherwise, cross out all trails. I don't know what that means. The region was not defined. I'm guessing these are regions. I'm in a city region, I guess, or a mountain region, I'm not sure. Cross out trails connected to region forest. I have no idea what that means. Cross out trails connected to region forest location if able. To a region location? Do I just pick one that is connected to a forest? How do I cross off a trail? I have no idea. I guess I'll cross this one off. I don't know if that's allowed, but I'm crossing this one off. It's connected to a forest, and I'm crossing it off. Okay. Oh wait, I don't need. I'm not supposed to do that yet. I'm supposed to do that at the beginning of my next turn, I guess. So my next turn is kind of threatless. So I can just like I rolled a 1 and a 2. So during my turn, I can scavenge, move, activate. I'm here. So I can scavenge before I move. I'm in the ruins. Okay, this is the ruins, and everything else is the wastes. I'm in the ruins, so I can scavenge 1, 2, or 3. And then I use the other die. Moving. And move that path to the chosen location. Cost of paths cannot be used. If a player moves on a path that has an go to the scrap directly. Is to mark the location. Scavenge using 1 turn dice, then move, then activate, or scavenge using both. Okay, so the other dice doesn't matter for the movement, it's just used up for the movement. wayfinder. Instead of moving to go directly from your forest location to another location within the same forest. Okay, so this is gonna give me a shortcut within the forest. I can get a scrap, or I can get a 2x breather. After you move on a waterway, spend to scavenge with 1 turn die at your current location. Rebreather, 2x rebreather. Oh, do I get both at the same time? Um, do I want to move? I don't know. I want to get to the beacons, I guess. What's a beacon? How does a beacon look like? A beacon, blue circle icon. So these are beacons. I want to get to the beacons. So there's a beacon here. I want to go there. Okay, so I'm definitely moving. I'm moving over here. So I'm here on turn 1. And I can scavenge before I go. Scavenge before I go. I think that wayfinder is going to be useful. So I'm going to go ahead and take it. Instead of moving, spend to go to directly from. Okay. Okay. Now it's turn 2. I roll 2d6. And that's a 9. Whoops. And the threat is Reapers. Writing like this is not easy. Okay, Reapers. Region. Mark tunnel or line station location if able. Otherwise mark supply cache locations. Okay. Movement. Lose 2 health each time you move on roads. Okay. The black fog happens now, so cross out trail connected to region forest location if able. I decided to cross this off. And I should read the rest. Lose 1 gear if you move from a forest location. I'm not going to. I'm going to move into a forest location. Forest, end of the forest or connected to forest, take exposure and radiation. You may go directly to a connected forest location. So maybe I don't want to go there. Wait, did I go there already on the previous turn? Yeah, I did. Do I want to leave? God damn it. Forest or connected to forest, take 1 explosion and radiation. You may go directly to a connected forest location. Well, I should have read that before I moved this turn and not moved into a forest, because that's dumb. Okay, so let's just assume that I didn't do that, and I went over here and I got this cog. So I have another scrap. Okay. I went over here, and now I have Reavers next turn. What does Reavers next turn do? Reapers, not Reavers. Mark tunnel or line station. Lose 2 health each time you move on a road. Wastes. Lose 3 health or spend 2 supply when you may then you may scavenge. Lose 3 health or spend 2 supply, then you may scavenge. Okay. So I kinda don't wanna be on wastes, I guess. And next turn I don't wanna be going on roads, which is this gray. Is this a road? I think this is a road. This one is a trail. No idea what this is. A waterway maybe? And the dotted line is something that you can build. Oh, okay. Okay, so I moved over here. next turn I don't want to move on a road, so I need to go to someplace. It's not. Wait, there's a bunch of landmarks here. I forgot to activate a landmark last turn. I could activate a landmark, one of these, right? Because I use this. I can activate a landmark anyway, so I didn't do that. I can make this path. No, this path. That's that path. Or the yellow house prevents end of turn effects from threats. But I'm not in a forest, so I don't need that. And the crane thingy, I can scavenge. Perform a scavenge action with both dice, then mark the current location again. So that would have been 3. I don't think I want that. So I'm gonna mark this path thingy. Okay. Now I'm starting my second turn. I rolled a 9. I rolled a 9. I got Reapers. And Reapers means that I need to plan not to move on rolls on the next turn. There are no rolls here. Where's the closest beacon? This is the closest beacon. I'm gonna use this path that I have built here. I also get to scavenge first. I scavenge first, right? Scavenge first. So I got a 4 or 5 and I'm in the ruins. Okay, so I have Infra Torch. After you activate a tunnel or observation tower, spend an activation landmark at your new location. Safe suit. After you activate shelter, spend to gain a shield. I can also do 9 and stay here, which is 2x busy scan. Spend when scavenging to act as if you have an additional die value of 1 to 3. That doesn't seem very useful. I can also use scrap to increase my value. Unicharge. When you would spend another gear, you may spend this instead. Okay. Omni key. When activating a landmark, spend to also activate another landmark in your region. That looks useful, but I'm not going to spend 2 scrap on this. I can also go to 6. After you lose health, spend to gain 2 supplies. Okay. Make PAL. After you move to a shelter location, spend to gain 2 supplies. I don't know. I think I'll take the safe suit. That's a 5, and I move over here. So that's turn 2. And now I can activate a landmark, which is this thing. What's that thing? Supply cache. Woo! I get into supplies and I mark it off. Again, to supplies. The supplies is good. Okay. I think. Okay, next turn. Wait, end of turn, black fog. I'm in a forest. This is brutal. Fine. I'm taking exposure and radiation. 1 exposure, 1 radiation. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna stop for a second right here and say that this game is extremely thematic. Like, I am feeling this world. It's alive. It's trying to get me. I'm going places. I'm feeling all of it. It's very, very thematic. There's a lot of going on here, and I'm having trouble digesting it. I will try and keep going, but I have a feeling that I will not have the stamina to finish this on this sitting, especially not while like talking. Um, but I think like obviously this was, you know, not very advanced graphic and iconographies. Um, if it's cleaner with a cleaner reference sheet, um, this could be quite a game. And I think this is like a really good solo game. I don't think I would play something like this multiplayer, like because this would be extremely heads down. Um, you're gonna wanna like really try and figure out the puzzle of what you're gonna wanna do next, and doing that while other people are also doing that, and they might be finished like I don't know. I take like 5 minutes to do my turn. Uh, Maybe somebody does it in 1 minute and then they have to sit around and wait. It's a bit, I think, awkward in multiplayer. But like, I want to sit down and try and figure this out while I'm not on video reading out everything I'm doing. Because this is like it's taking up a lot of my brain capacity to both be talking and trying to figure out what the hell is going on here and when I want to go. Um, uh, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stop here. I'm not gonna get to the end of the game. I haven't. I just played 2 turns and I'm exhausted. So this is something I would really like to come back to. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, and hopefully I can find the time to play this again off camera and like really get into everything that's going on here. I'll try to do that soon because I don't want to forget anything that's going on here. And I haven't even gotten to the beacons yet. Looks very, very interesting. I'm really looking forward to deciphering this game. It's a beast, though. It's a beast, and it's taxing to like get into this. But I'm looking forward to giving this another go off camera. So thank you very much, Breakfast, for making this game and letting me play it. Um, Hopefully you found my video feedback useful, even though I only played like 2 turns of it. Um, Obviously, if you wanna push this further and make it into something publishable, you'll need to clean up the art and iconography and legends and stuff, and probably not try and restrict yourself to the A4 page constraint that we have applied for the game jam. This needs like several boards and reference sheets and stuff like that. I have no idea how uh, the the deduction beacon kind of thing works in this game, because I haven't gotten to it. Yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to give this another go. Excellent work for a prototype. Kudos. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.